What do you want to be known for? Yeah, being nice, being kind, being generous, having the best chocolate chip cookie. Okay, I know that's not everyone's goal, but I think that is one of the things that we all love. A delicious, moist, but crispy, but gooey in the center, but not too gooey chocolate chip cookie. I used to work in a camp kitchen for years and would make hundreds upon hundreds of chocolate chip cookies in a large mixer. Made them so often that over the years, I'm not gonna lie when I say for the last probably 15, 17 years, I have been messing with the recipe, changing it, adding this, adding that, tablespoon up, tablespoon down, to make the ultimate chocolate chip cookie, my favorite chocolate chip cookie. And they're good. They have a few extra ingredients that are kind of odd. They have a weird mix and ratio of things, but they work, and they are so good. If you follow the steps, buy the kind of odd ingredients, you are gonna have the chocolate chip cookie. Kids are gonna love it. Adults are gonna say, what? Yeah, it is that good. So to start, like a lot of cookies, we're gonna put some butter in there. And we are doing a large batch, but the thing is, to make these right, to make them bake correctly and have the right look, we make a large cookie. So even though it's a large batch, it doesn't come out to as much as you think. So after the butter, we're gonna add the sugar, and it has both white granulated sugar, which you kind of just need for the right, it gives it the right texture and also the right structure as it's baking, but then you also need brown sugar. And the brown sugar gives it kind of that more, the caramelly notes, but also that gooey kind of center texture. So you need that mix of both the white and the brown sugar. So once that's all in there, and you can see it is gonna be a big batch, but like, whoever complained about a big batch of cookies? No one. We're gonna start mixing that up and cream it until it's well creamed. And that means like 3 to 5 minutes. No one does that long enough. Actually creaming it to mix in the air, which is needed. Now, when it's well mixed, you can see that it really is clinging to the sides. It's kind of getting a little bit airier texture to it, which is what you want. You want that butter and sugar to become extremely well combined. So when a recipe has minutes on there, it can make a difference. Because if you do it and don't do it fully, the butter isn't fully mixed in. So I'm just scraping the sides so we can make sure as we keep adding ingredients, they mix in evenly. You know, the smell of this, just that butter and the brown sugar and the white sugar, it smells like grandma's house growing up, because often when we would go over, she would make a chocolate chip cookie with us. It may not have been quite these, but there was nothing wrong with grandma's chocolate chip cookies. So you instantly kind of get that smell, which I love. So one at a time, I'm gonna add some eggs. I don't always do it one at a time, but we want them to mix well in and mix evenly and incorporate the right way. Doing it one at a time can make a difference. So I'm gonna turn it on low, get them going. And once this one's mixed in, I'm just gonna add the next one until I have all in. So after that's all incorporated really well, we wanna add, of course, our vanilla. Classic in here. The thing is, we're adding a healthy dose. Why? It's a healthy dose of cookie. You have a lot of butter in there, you have a lot of sugar, and you really want that vanilla to come out because it's part of a chocolate chip cookie. And then a little odd ingredient here, some molasses. Now, we're not doing a ton of molasses. These do not become a molasses cookie. What this does is add that undertone of caramely, almost butterscotchy, just like a deeper flavor. It's kind of upping the little bit of molasses that could have been in that brown sugar. This is, to me, where you get that undertone of flavor that especially adults will pick up on and say, whoa, these are good chocolate chip cookies. Kids are gonna love them either way. It's definitely needed. So I'm gonna mix that vanilla and the molasses in, and then we're just gonna put all the dry ingredients right in there. In between these steps, I do just like to, make sure to scrape down the sides of the bowl. That's because, these mixers, sometimes the divot in the bottom can get a little bit under it, and you want all these ingredients to mix in well. Otherwise, you might get a cookie or two in the end when you're baking them that kind of get weird and soupy and don't bake right because they weren't evenly mixed. So flours, now, yeah, I said multiple, I had that plural because we're not adding just regular all-purpose flour. So about half of it is all-purpose flour, what we always are used to using, no questions asked. And I honestly think other flour isn't gonna be that odd, but there is a lot of flour. So I'm splitting it between all-purpose, and then we're going on to some bread flour. Now that's gonna sound really weird, but the thing is, so flours, when the difference is between bread flour, pastry flour, all-purpose, is the amount of protein in it. So bread flour has one of the highest proteins. And what that means is it gives it more structure, it holds up more, and in these cookies, It does, it makes a difference. So just that little bit of switch between the two different types of flour, it makes a difference in the outcome. And it's one of those things that, will the cookies be good either way? Sure. But will they be exactly like mine are? No. Will they look just like mine are? No. It's gonna be one of those things that when you ask, can I do this, can I do this? Sure, you can do whatever you want. Will it be different? Very possibly. So after the flours, we're gonna add some malted milk powder. Again, okay, no, you probably don't just keep this in your pantry. I do. I actually keep it in my freezer because then it stays for a lot longer. What it is it's some dry milk, it's some malted barley, it's some wheat flour extracts, and it adds a delicious flavor. Again, we're not putting a lot in there. We're putting in just enough, but it adds flavor. It adds kind of that, I hate to use the word malted, but it adds that flavor, and yeah, it makes a difference. If you leave it out, will it fall? Will it be awful? No. Will it be as good? No. This is, I'm gonna tell you, these cookies take a couple extra steps. They do, but are they worth it? I wouldn't give this recipe to you if they weren't. So I'm adding in some baking soda. It's needed. In cookies, baking soda helps brown them. It gives them the right, as they bake, texture. We're gonna add some salt. The salt in this one is extremely needed since we are doing so much dough in there. You definitely need the salt to kind of balance everything out. So we're gonna start this on low because, yeah, we've all done that where the flour goes everywhere. You may even have to pulse it depending on the size of your mixer. And then we'll mix it up and add the best part. All the flour's mixed in there. It smells, I know I always say that, but guys, it really does. It smells delicious. You know that raw cookie dough, you can't really go wrong with it. And no, I'm not gonna tell you to eat any because you know we shouldn't eat raw egg. That smells good. So chocolate, I got two types. I'm not gonna make you chop up whole chocolate from like a block, which gives you great outcome. But I do like the big, you can find bigger chips, which as they melt in are just wonderful. And I like to mix it. I know, it's one of those recipes that it's not just one and done. I like some semi-sweet, gives you that little bit more chocolatey, a little bit more, not bitter, but stronger chocolate flavors. And then some good milk chocolate. Now, the two of them mixed together, the milk chocolate is that classic chocolatey goodness, and you want really to pump up the chocolate in these. These aren't just chocolate chip cookies. They aren't just, oh, my neighbor's chocolate chip cookies. No, no, no. These are the chocolate chip cookies. You might as well make them good. Gonna do a couple mixes just to incorporate them into that dough. Then all we need to do is put it into a bowl. So I'm gonna put this into a bowl. I'm gonna cover it, and then I need to chill this overnight. So, okay, yeah, I get it. What, you're gonna make me chill this? Yeah, this isn't for the faint of heart. This isn't for the one and done quick, I wanna make these in an hour. No. This is for, I want the best chocolate chip cookie that I can enjoy, that everyone that will have one is gonna say, what? Yeah, that's what these are. So as they sit overnight, something important happens. The flours and all the ingredients actually hydrate evenly, and it makes it completely different when it bakes. And I've tried it both ways. If you bake them right now, they're gonna be flatter. They're not gonna be like that gooey inside, crispy exterior, no. They're gonna be a little bit just more soft, almost cakey, but if they sit overnight in the fridge, and I like a good 24 hours if I can, they're a completely different cookie. They bake up and have a great little dome that then falls once they're baked. They pillow slightly. You can tell, I am in love with these cookies. So it is important for them to sit overnight. So I'm gonna put them in this bowl, I'm gonna cover it, we're gonna put them and chill, and then tomorrow, we are gonna actually bake the best chocolate chip cookie. And you're gonna see what I mean. Yeah, I know, your mouth is watering. Mine is too. The cookie dough has sat overnight in the fridge. And yes, it is an essential part to make these the ultimate chocolate chip cookie. These are my favorite, and I just love to make them. So the next day, usually about 24 hours after, I'm gonna start making scoops. And as you can tell, I'm making generous sized cookie scoops. And that's exactly what you want, because if you make them too small, they just make more of a mound, but the right size dough will make them get nice and kind of big, but then also still have that rich, dense center that stays gooey. Now, my grandma, when she made her chocolate chip cookies, sweet thing ever, she would count the chocolate chips in each cookie. I think hers, she made a smaller cookie. I think there was like 6 chocolate chips. And so sometimes as an homage to her, but also just because I do like that, if you end up having a round and you don't see chocolate on the top, I will put a chocolate chip from the dough right in there just so as it bakes, you get that nice chocolate. Yeah, Grandma would do that. And she didn't necessarily tell people she did that, but she did. And you know why? Because it's that extra little steps and care that is just love for people. So you know what? That's what these cookies are. They take a few extra steps, but they are love in a cookie. So I have one pan done, and they're gonna come out. Now, when they come out, they look, you know, a little bit lofty. They haven't fallen yet, but as they sit, and sometimes I even let them bang on the counter a little bit to make sure they fall, and they're way too soft, but you can tell then, after they cool about 5 to 10 minutes, I take them off the pan, put them on a rack, and you get that gorgeous cookie. You can see the ripples of how it falls down, how it finishes baking. It gets that golden brown around the outside, that chewy center. So let's just do, yes, look at that. You get that gorgeous texture. And this is what I love. You get the crispiness on the edges, so it holds really well. It's crispy, but then you get that kind of gooey soft center. That was the best to me of both worlds. We all have a different nostalgic presence of what the perfect chocolate chip cookie is. But to me, this encompasses a lot of them. You get crispiness, gooiness, soft, not cakey, lots of chocolate, tons of vanilla flavor. It's exactly what I want in a chocolate chip cookie. And then little bits of depths of flavor with that little bit of molasses, which you don't know is there, the malt, which you don't know is there. That's all adding to that ultimate chocolate chip cookie. And I love it. I hope you see that these are fun because they're different. There's something you probably haven't made because they take a few different extra steps, a few different extra ingredients, but when you put them together and you make them, you are gonna have this beautiful, perfect looking chocolate chip cookie. I hope, as always, that you try these, but mostly I hope you share them around, because when you share them around, it helps everyone see how fun it is, how easy it is, but also how it can be to like have fun in the kitchen. And that's what this is all about. So make these cookies, share them around. Check my website, wiseguy.com, for this recipe, other recipes. There's a printable version of the recipe, so it makes it super easy for you. You can just print off like 50 copies and just pass them around. Make the cookies, share them. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna be sitting here making more cookies, but also eating these cookies. So I hope you enjoy them. And now we can share and have the ultimate chocolate chip cookie together.